Chapter 13. The Lesser Masters. And the soul of a child came into him again. 1 Kings 17. If one day someone should say to you, earnestly, "Well, day are to you," you would scarcely know what to make of it. You would at once understand that the person had knowledge of words but could not put them together rightly. And if the person continued to talk to you in this manner, you might feel inclined to lose your patience and not listen. But if you would stop and consider things and examine yourself, you would learn something well worth thinking about. You would discover that your own ability to put words in the right order has come from being obedient. First of all, you have been willing to imitate what others said until you have thereby learned to speak quite well. Besides that, you have been corrected many times by those about you at home and in school, until language is at length a careful habit in you. Everyone knows at once what you mean. You see, therefore, that you may combine words in such a manner that you will be easily comprehended by others, or, as in the case of the imaginary person we began with, they may be combined in a perfectly senseless way. Consequently, it is not enough to know words alone, we must know what to do with them. The true art of using words is to put full and clear meaning into a few of them, to say as much as possible with as few words as you may select. Tones may be treated in the same manner as words. One can write tones in such a manner as to say quite as senseless a thing as, "Well, day are to you." Many do. This teaches you that true and simple tone sentences, like similar word sentences, must have for their object to say the fullest and clearest meaning in as little space as possible. For many hundreds of years, thoughtful composers have studied about this. They have tried in every way to discover the secrets underlying tone writing so that the utmost meaning should come out when they are united. Tones thus arranged according to the laws of music writing make sense. To learn this art, all great composers have studied untiringly. They have recognized the difficulty of putting much meaning in little space, and to gain this ability they have found no labor to be too severe. We must remember that there is no end of music in the world which was not written by the few men whom we usually call the great composers. Perhaps you will be interested to know about these works. Many of them are really good, your favorite pieces, no doubt. When we think of it, it is with composers as with trees of the forest. Great and small, strong and weak, grow together for the many purposes for which they are created. They could not all be either great or small. There must be many kinds. Then the young in time take the place of the old, and the strong survive the weak. Together beneath the same sky, deep-rooted in the beautiful, bountiful earth, they grow side by side. The same sun shines upon them all, the same wind and the same rain come to them, selecting no one before another. What are they all doing? Each living its true life, as best it can. It is true they may not come and go, they may not choose, but as we see them, beautiful in their leaves and branches, we feel the good purpose to which they live, and, unconsciously, perhaps, we love them. Among us it is quite the same. Some are more skillful than others. But be our skill great or small, we are not truly using it until we have devoted it to a worthy purpose. And as with us, so it is with the musicians. There are the great and small. The great ones, leaders of thought, we call the great masters. The lesser are earnest men, who have not as much power as the masters, but they are faithful in small things. They sing lesser songs, it is true, but not less beautiful ones. Often these lesser ones think more as we do. They think simply and about the things which we have often in our minds. It is such thoughts as these which we have in our best moments that we love so much when we see them well expressed by one who is a good and delicate writer, either of tones or words. Particularly do we understand these thoughts well in the first years of our music, when nearly all the works of the greater composers are above us. Thus are the many composers, who yet are not great masters, of value to us because they write well a kind of thought which is pure and full of meaning, and which we can understand. They give us true pleasure day after day in the beginning and seem at the same time to help us onward to the ability of understanding the great masters. This they do by giving our thought training in the right direction. Now, we know that the very best music for a young musician to learn in the first days is that of the lesser tone masters, together with those simpler pieces of the great composers which come within his power to comprehend, within the power of a child's hands and voice. Let us see, once again, if it is not clear. True composers, great and small, sing from the heart. If one having a little skill turn it unworthily away from the good and true work he might do, then he does not use rightly his one talent. He does not give us true thought and tone. He writes for vanity or a low purpose, and is not a lesser master, but he is untrue. It is not our right to play anything. We may rightly play only that which is full of such good thought as we in our power may understand. It is to supply us with just this that the lesser masters write. In simple, yet clear and beautiful pictures, they tell us many and many a secret of the world of tone into which we shall some day be welcomed by the greater ones if we are faithful unto the lesser.